Good evening, everyone. My name is Farhad. Thanks, Masoud, for the introduction, and thanks for having me today for this presentation, and thanks everyone for attending this session. I have only 20 minutes. I have a couple of things to cover, so I'll do my best. My talk is about a couple of AI applications. I guess everyone knows about AI. You have heard lots of news about AI and how it's kind of, growing in different areas, and how people are trying to use AI to disrupt their businesses and improve their businesses and create new things. Today, I'm going to talk about one of the projects that I've been doing during the last couple of years. This is the project that I started in 2017, 1 year after I came to New Zealand. Before I was in Japan for 11 years. I did slightly different things, but I'm currently more focused on data analytics, AI, machine learning, and Internet of Things. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about, I'm trying to find my point. Oops. All right. This is the kind of question to everyone. Why do we react differently than others to similar situations? This is a general question, but I just want to show you how AI can help answer this question and target different kind of problems. The answer is actually about personality traits. So these are 5 personality traits which are identified in human being, and these traits are used by experts to build some models using AI and machine learning and solve some problems. So I will show you one of the problems, which is about politics. But the traits are openness, which is about how open-minded the person is. Conscientiousness, which is about how self-disciplined the person is. Extroversion, how outgoing and social you are. Agreeableness, which is about being friendly and tactful in different situations. And neuroticism, which is about person's ability to remain stable and balanced. So these are 5 personality traits which are identified in human being. And this guy, Professor Michael Kosinski, has used these traits to build a model a few years back and combine this model with click streams from Facebook. So with 68 clicks from your Facebook profile, this model is able to predict your skin color with 95% accuracy. Sexual orientation, 88% accuracy. Affiliation to a political party with 85% accuracy. And if you collect more clicks from the Facebook and social media, this accuracy of the prediction will increase. And even you can predict whether someone's parents were divorced or not. But this is used for some political purposes. In the United States, Cambridge Analytical, which was a startup company, they approached people, around 320,000 US voters, and they paid around $2 to $5 to each person. And they collected their their Facebook information. And those people also took a quiz, personality quiz. And these 320,000 people were connected to many other people, totally 50 million people in the United States. And they combined this data, personality quiz results, with Facebook information, and they used a model that's created by Kosinski to create personalized advertisements, political advertisements for people to influence them and target them. So you can see Cambridge Analytica is simply turning this data to something that can influence people's political orientation. And you know what was the result? I mean, this is not something that 100% changed the result, but there was some influence. And it was a kind of also scandal, how we are misusing data to affect people. So the next, any questions, anything? The next topic is about a project that I started 1.5 years ago with a couple of my colleagues who are robotics and AI specialists. And we created a prototype robot, which is called Helix. Our purpose is to create technologies using robotics, AI, and even some books like this for children to learn about science, technology, engineering, and maths, or STEM. You know, if you have children, you know STEM is getting very popular in the schools, and it's becoming a mandatory part of, it's compulsory for all schools to start delivering STEM subjects, even in primary schools. So this is the curriculum of New Zealand from 2020. And many schools have already started this. They are running lots of different coding, different kind of training for kids in primary schools. And this kind of book is created, is written for children. But I will show you something about this book which is kind of unique. So the story is just a normal story, but it's STEM flavored. I mean, kids enjoy reading a story and they learn about STEM because it's pretty much analytical. It's about like asking questions, answering, and they learn indirectly different things about STEM. So if you want, you can just rotate it. Yeah, and then circulate, please. Okay. Yeah, the project has 3 tiers. The first tier is about the books and stories, STEM flavored stories with some characters and some people who are playing different roles in the story. And one interesting thing about this book is that if you see the cover page, it's mentioning that we have used AI technology for sentiment and tone analysis. Sentiment and tone analysis means we just want to make sure the content is appropriate for little children, like 6, 7 years old. There is enough joy in it. There's no much anger or sadness or disgusting things. So 67% of content brings joy to children. So, and it's analytical. And those 5 personality traits are analyzed here. So we have used IBM Watson as one of the tools for sentiment and tone analysis. You just feed your text and you get this kind of results. Just a little about, unfortunately I don't have much time to demo this, but maybe after the session, if you are interested, I can show you some of the functionality of Helix. But Helix has different components. One part is about conversation bot or chat bot. Helix is able to communicate with you, answer questions, but one of the challenges that we have got is we need to create something for children. So if a child asks a question, okay, what is robotics? So the answer should be in the appropriate level so that kids can understand it, very young kids. So the challenge is that, of course, we can use many chatbots like Google One, like Alexa, but this should be something customized for STEM learning. So we have got a open source chatbot and we have customized it and we are still working on it and it's kind of work in progress. So obviously it's converting voice to text and if there is a knowledge base inside the memory of the robot. But of course, in the future, We are planning to make it a kind of cloud-based, so the knowledge base comes from the cloud. So when you ask a question, so Helix tries to find the answer in the knowledge base. If it's not available, it starts looking for the answer of question in the web through web scraping. It's like spider kind of thing, which is going through different links and finding the answer. And of course, we have some natural language processing, which is analyzing the text and summarizing that, refining that, make something like a kind of answer appropriate for children. This is a work in progress. We have got some results, but we're still working on it. It is a very challenging part, and this is one of the difficulties for attracting investors for this project, because this is a very risky part. And there is also some other capabilities. For example, you can program it so that Helix moves from point A to point B. And this is good for children to learn about the concept of programming. And something similar to many other tools like Scratch. If you have seen Scratch, it's very simple, just drag and drop. And kids learn coding with that simple tool. So using Helix, kids also can navigate the robot, and they can learn about the concepts of coding in a very, very simple and very interesting way. These are some details about the architecture of the chatbot with AI, but as I said, we are now working on this part to create something AI-based to analyze the text and refine it for the information that we are collecting from different sources in internet. Of course, I've demoed this in different schools, and we can see how kids show their excitement about this kind of having this kind of technology. Oh, sorry. So with this, Helix can tell a story to the kids, can play music. Sorry. Yeah. Another thing about Helix is that we have made this with transparent body so that kids can, this is just a prototype version. Kids can see different parts of the robot. And they really enjoy that. This is the excitement that we can see in our demos, how, because they can get better understanding of a robot and how it works and how it operates. And they can build up their own robot. They can get the parts. This is our purpose. So they can put parts together and build their own robot in very simple and easy way. Yeah, we have demoed this at Super STEM Fair last year at MOTAT, and this year I'm inviting you, especially if you have children. That's a very interesting event with many other people exhibiting at MOTAT. So this is our stall at MOTAT last year, and we had thousands of visitors, and they showed really, pretty much excitement about the technologies and robots. How much time do I have? 3 minutes. Okay. The last thing is about another application of AI that I just want to have a very quick review of this. It's about one of the branches of AI, which is part of machine learning, and it's called deep learning. It's about extension of neural networks, artificial neural networks. Suppose you want to do some, this is about another project that I've done a couple of years ago, which is about navigating autonomous cars on the road, which is about, the problem is that for the tourists who are visiting New Zealand, for example, and they're coming from countries which are driving on the opposite side of the road. So sometimes they make a mistake, and this causes lots of incidents. So we tried to find a solution for this problem, and we created a robot, and we used deep learning to train the robot to understand how to drive on the correct side of the road. So we use deep learning, and if I just want to simplify it, deep learning is about classification, prediction. So suppose we have these two things, fried chicken or labradoodle, which is kind of looking similar, but they have different features as well, like different colors, different kind of. So, or this one, sheepdog or mop. So if you want to recognize these two things, you have to actually use some models of AI and neural networks to be able to recognize them. So you can use different kind of models, but sometimes these models are very complicated. So what we did is we created a robot, and this is actually getting trained using some images that we capture. So there's a camera here, and it's capturing images. Suppose this is a kind of road track. We are navigating robot like many times on this track, and we feed these images to the robot, and it is trained by deep learning. It identifies the features, and when we test it, it just drives autonomously. It's able to find the right side of the track, and it works pretty much autonomously. So this is another project that we did. But as you can see, there are very different kind of applications of AI. So from the politics, from robotics, even for the books that we are writing, we can use AI to analyze the text. And this kind of application, which is about real-life application, about driving on the correct side of the road, and I think for some, like, I've seen lots of news about the incidents in New Zealand, which is happening because of the tourists who are coming, and they get pretty much confused when they are driving. And again, I really thank Masoud for organizing this event. So this Sunday we are going to, I'm kind of representing Otago Polytechnic Auckland International Campus in the event, and I and some of my colleagues will be at MOTAT, Super STEM Fair, and we will demo some of these things. And I really encourage you to be at the event on Sunday, 7th of April.
Thank you so much, Farhad.
Thank you so much.